Yogaxpress. It's all about moving the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. To help you stay with us and stay loyal to your own practice, we also have a website, yogaxpress.com. You've got that right there on your screen. Just visit that site every now and then. Whatever we share with you on this show pops up every now and then on the website as well. In fact, a lot of what I say on the show has been inspired by what I have spoken on the website. So, thoughts, our responses to what's happening outside of us may be original, but everybody has more or less the same circumstances. In fact, we were having a pretty much a brief but intense conversation. My studio members. Actually, before I move on to give you that example, I'd like to thank our crew first of all. One of the studio members is Akram. So Akram, thank you. Miguel, our director, thank you so much for coming back for more of my stretching right here. One of these days I'm going to get you on the mat too, Miguel. And Brian Breton, responsible for the studio lights, the setup, the sound. Everything sounds so beautiful and quiet and peaceful. Now, while I was talking to you about the little conversation that we had just before I started today, it started off with me looking at this bottle and how it's, the hot water that I poured into it changed the shape of this bottle on one side. The other side has its original shape. Heat has deformed the bottle, or you could say it has taken another shape. It has taken another form. It hasn't exactly deformed, it hasn't destroyed it either. But the point I'm trying to make, to bring that analogy, and the point I'm trying to make is our thoughts shape our actions. Our actions shape our relationships. And our relationships influence our thoughts. So it's like a nice, gentle cycle in life. So you want to be sure, and of course everything starts with the mind, with the thought. You want to be sure that you keep your thoughts as clear, as lucid as possible. And usually that is entirely possible when you take care of your body. So make sure your body is in good shape. When you're feeling good, you're thinking well, you're thinking clearly, and everything in life starts to fall in place. So start with your body and then go into meditative states. Do whatever makes you feel good. It is important to look good, but it's more important to feel good, because it's all about you. It's taking care of yourself. And then once you are happy and you've taken care of yourself, you start to look better, you start to feel better, and you start to have better rapport with your work colleagues, with people around you as well. My colleague Akram also brought about something called water memory. I'm not sure exactly, he's a psychology major, so he explained it well, but I'm going to try and bring that in. Just like water takes the shape of the container it is in, I guess water memory, depending on whose palm the water drips in, the water would take the shape of that person's palm. And Akram was talking about crystallization. So Akram, you've got to come on the show one day and explain it better. Basically what I'm trying to explain to you, think of the water as your thought. So your body is the container. So the thoughts that are in your mind will influence what you do with your body, will influence what you say outside. And while we are on the topic of body movement, there is one aspect of yoga which is not really visited when you go to the traditional schools, either here in New York or any other school that I've visited in Asia as well. For want of a better name, it's called super brain yoga. And I want to point this out simply because if you go to a temple, to the Indian temple, and I don't want to bring the religious aspect into your physical practice, but I just want to point it out. You may have already seen it out there. You notice how the people who go to the temples, they hold their opposite earlobes, sometimes the same side, depending, if they are not able to reach the opposite earlobes, they place their index and thumb over the earlobes, and they do half squats. Those who can do full squats. There is a reason for it. In yoga, we actually do it with your breath. So as you go down, you inhale when you go down. I'll demonstrate to you in just a moment. But the reason for holding on to the opposite earlobes, as I understand it, in Super Brain Yoga, is the left earlobe has acupressure points that activate the right side of the brain, your artistic side. The right earlobe has acupressure points that activate your logical side, the side of reasoning. So you want to make sure that you stay well balanced. You don't want to be such an artist that you don't think of any logic. You don't want to be such a logical person that you find it difficult to be artistic and, feel complete in whatever you do. Now, Super Brain Yoga, and there are a couple of standing moves. I would take you through those before I take you through what I promised for a long time. It's called Yoga Nidra or Yogic Sleep, and I will sit while I take you through that. It's a kind of guided meditation similar to the chakra meditation, but with a different focus. It focuses on regions of your body starting from your toes all the way to the top. Before we do that, here's how you would practice. Apparently, a Master Choa Kok Sui, he is a Tibetan teacher, I understand, who teaches children in elementary school this activity called Super Brain Yoga, and they practice for about an hour every day. I could have got some of the facts wrong. The point is, there was a Tibetan monk who has taught this particular move to these kids, and their grades went from a C to an A in, I believe, a matter of months. Again, all news items have a little bit of exaggeration here and there. You need to check those. But the name of the Tibetan master, Master Choa Kok Sui. Look him up. Look up Super Brain Yoga, and you'll find quite a bit of an explanation there. It's fascinating. So here's what you would do. Bring your feet out about, hip width apart would work, because then you don't have too much pressure on the knees. If you go too far, you cannot go deep. If you're too close, your knees will feel the pressure. So about hip width, so directly below your knees. Keep the insides of your feet parallel. Actually, I could just face you right here. Now, the reason I went to one side, just to show you the angle, is I have just a moment. I have a visitor who's trying to sneak in through the side door. Excuse me. Let's close this door right here, because we are taping. So we have that sometimes. People don't really see the red light when we are taping, and they just walk right in, which is unfortunate. We have a way to take a shortcut through the studios to go into their offices. So here's what you're going to do. Keep your feet parallel, the insides of your feet parallel. Hold on to the opposite earlobes. And as you inhale, you bend your knees and you go down. We'll do it slowly. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. At the next inhale, I'm going to go down. Exhale. Let's try that a little deeper. A little deeper. I've only done it 3 times. I can already feel the impact on my knees and on my back, to the extent when I went really deep, my body started to lean forward. The idea is to keep your back upright. And you'll notice the people in the temple would just go inhale as they go down. That is a form of breathing as well, but it's also great for the knees. But what you're really feeling is the impact on your earlobes. So apply that pressure, you'll find your brain starts to get really active. You need to work at it for at least a couple of months before you see some results. If those kids could see results in 3 months from a C to an A, I'm sure if you practice, and they did it, I believe they practiced that about 1 hour every day. Can you imagine bending and unbending your knees for one full hour every day? You know what? Everything is about practice. So you keep practicing, it gets better and easier. It shouldn't get so easy that you don't feel the challenge. So try that. I'm going to do that 3 more times, this time with my earlobes without crossing my fingers, so you can see exactly how I'm holding. I've got earrings on, but over that, I'm going to press my earlobes, take my elbows out. Next inhale. conscious effort this time to keep my back as straight as I could. But this time, I want you to practice at home. Try it for about 10-15 minutes so you don't have to force yourself into this practice unless you're feeling comfortable, but you should also feel the effects. So it should be a bit of a challenge, but not painful. The other one that I actually watched is where you have your legs out a little wider than your hips. And these are exercises, they're actually literally exercises, they're not yoga postures, but I need to move and warm my body before I can feel the impact, or before you can feel, because you're practicing with me, before you can feel the impact of the yoga nidra, or yogic sleep, because you can't be too rested when you want to feel the effect of the yogic sleep. You need to let your blood flow a little bit, and then you feel the contrast when you sleep. So bring your feet out about 20 to 24 inches. Bring your put your brakes on, so bring your toes in. Inhale the arms up. Take it all the way up. And then as you exhale, bring your feet together. I could probably keep going. I'm a very anti-gravity person. I don't like to jump around. I like to do everything smooth. But this particular one, you will not feel the impact unless you actually lift your feet off. Some of you may be very light. You may want to jump really high, and that's fine. But when you land, make sure you land gracefully. You don't want to land with a thump. Now that's another exercise. It's called the star exercise, or the star posture. I don't know if there's a name for it in yoga, but I'm just teaching you how to get your blood moving. So we slowly started with the knees, move the arms, and there's another one. It's a simple jog, but you're going to be jogging in one place. And I've seen people do that on the street as well, maybe even on the treadmill. I don't know. I'm not really a gym person. But all it is you're jogging with your arms moving. So if you've got some weights, hold on to your weights in your hand. I would probably just go with a 1 pound in each hand. But just make sure you get your coordination right. When you lift your left knee, you want to bring your right arm up. You want to just jog in the same place. I know it feels a little weird. There's all motion and no movement. You're jogging, but you're not getting anywhere. But you know what? You are getting something. You are getting a workout. You're getting your blood moving. So keep jogging. Let me see if I can get my coordination right. So you want to make sure that your body stays totally focused on the movement of your limbs. It's not, and yes, over a period about half an hour later, you might feel you've lost another, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. I don't know, if we could work magic with just jogging in half an hour and losing 2 pounds, I'm the first one who'll be standing in line to try and shed some of those pounds. Now this is the moment I've been promising you for quite some time. It's about 10 to 15 minutes of restful sleep. Ideally, I would lie down with you, but if I do that, you won't be able to hear me. So I'm actually going to sit in seated position. I'll have my eyes closed so I can take you through a very simple biofeedback of your whole body. Every now and then I may shift positions, but you're not expected to watch me. I want you to lie on your back. For about 10 minutes of restful sleep. Lie down on your back. Your legs are about hip width apart. Toes fall out to the side. Arms by the side of your hips. Head is relaxed, except for the natural curves in the back of your body, behind the neck, low back, knees, and the ankles. Let the whole body melt into the mat. Where the mind goes, energy flows. Take your mind's eye to the left big toe, second, third, fourth, and little toe. Take your mind's eye to the back of the left heel and ankle. Relax the left foot. Slowly Move your mind's eye to the back of the left calf, back of the left knee, upper thigh, coming to pause the back of the left hip. Relax the whole left leg. Take your mind's eye across and over to the back of the right leg. Slowly move your mind's eye down the back of the right upper thigh, back of the right knee, calf, back of the right ankle, and pause. Take your mind's eye to the right heel. Slowly move it upward to the right big toe, second, third, fourth, and little toe. Relax the right foot. Relax the whole right leg. Relax the whole lower part of your body. Slowly glide your mind's eye to the base of the spine, moving up to the middle of the spine. Come to pause between the shoulder blades. Climb up a little higher to the base of the neck. Gently move your mind's eye to the back of the left shoulder, back of the left upper arm, elbow, forearm, coming to pause on the back of the left wrist. Relax the left arm. Take your mind's eye to the left thumb, index, middle, ring, and little finger. Relax the left hand. Relax the whole left arm. Gently glide back to the base of the neck and glide across to the back of the right shoulder, down the back of the right upper arm, elbow, back of the right forearm, coming to pause at the right wrist. Relax the right arm. Take your mind's eye to the right thumb, index, middle, ring, and little finger. Relax the right hand. Relax the whole right arm. Take your mind's eye back to the base of the neck, to the cervix. Gently, before you move up, take your mind's eye to your movement, to your emotions. Let go of all negative emotions: anger, sadness, despair, frustration. Acknowledge them, accept them, and set them free. Think of only joyful events, moments, thoughts, and actions. Embrace them, accept them. Gently move your mind's eye to the back of your skull, moving up to the top of the crown, coming to rest in the forehead center. Feel a nice warm glow. Feel all the positive energy awakening, stirring your own inner vibrancy. That was just a brief, very brief demonstration of what we call Yoga Nidra in yoga. At the end of most physical practices, in a yoga classroom, many teachers will take you through a more intense, more elaborate form of yoga nidra. Nidra literally means sleep in Sanskrit. And many of us do not either have the opportunity or we either don't have the opportunity or the guidance to be able to take us through a sleep mode, sleep pattern, which will help us relax. Your body needs to stay alert and active, but fully rested at the same time. Your mind will always be alert. It is going to be rested only when your body is rested. So I want you to keep in mind that every now and then you can do a biofeedback on your own body. You can use your own voice, and if you go through my website, you'll probably find the script for this Yoga Nidra in a more elongated form, in a much in detail text form, and you can just use that for your own practice. You can just record your voice with those directions. It's much more explicit than what we have experienced here. In the interest of time, this was a very brief session of Yoga Nidra. But every now and then, I want you to experience this, because this is what will help you relax your mind and your body, and you can take yourself into a meditative state. So all the physical practice that we do, I'm going to stretch out, get my blood moving. All the physical practices that we do will mean a lot more, much more, when you're able to help it impact and relax your mind. So it's about getting to the mind through the body. It's about moving the body to still the mind. Now, I love saying that over and over, because finally, that's where we all are aiming for. We are all aiming to calm the mind down. It doesn't matter, we're not going to stay young forever. So it doesn't matter if you are physically unable to do that, but right from a slightly younger age, or at least when you're still physically active, if you can stay physically active and then slowly move into the meditative state, it's only going to help you when your body does not want to cooperate as much as it used to, but your mind is still going to stay sharp. With that, I believe we still have 6 minutes, so I just want to share a few other tips. I'm not sure, do we really have 6 minutes, guys? 4 minutes? I'm not sure how many tips I can share with you right away, but in 4 minutes, it's not not a bad time to just touch on a few bits and pieces that I may have missed out earlier. You can divide your practice in different ways, as I've already shown you in previous episodes. You can do standing postures one day, you can do seated, prone, and supine in another. So over a period of 3 days, 10 minutes of each of these, and you've covered the whole sequence, the Yogaxpress sequence on this postcard. You can also, one day you may feel your back needs more attention. Another day you may feel your knees need more attention. So you can also practice region by region in the body. So you can do back bends one day, chest openers, forward folds. You want to stretch your hamstrings another day. You can do twists, squats, pelvic openers, which are very important for you to help you relax. You could bend and unbend your knees. Just remember, every region of the body that you touch on is going to be, you're going to actually need to move those regions as long as you want to stay physically active. Now, if you are, let's say you've had an accident and you end up in a wheelchair for a few weeks and suddenly you're not able to use your knees feel all wobbly. It's a good idea to sit and do your knee benders seated in the wheelchair. Whenever you're doing a transition in your movements, you want to do it very gently. One of these days, with just a couple of minutes left, I don't want to promise you this, but I don't want to make a promise and not be able to keep it in today's episode, but one of these days, we will see if we can transition. We might have done the whole sequence of 48 postures in about 24 minutes. That was with the instructions right here. You are going to try and practice at home. Once you get the sequence packed, you're able to transition smoothly. You'll notice this whole sequence of 48 yoga postures, simple common denominator postures. You can actually do these stretches in under 12 to 13 minutes. So if you can spare about 12 minutes a day for your physical health, trust me, you're going to be in great shape even at the age of 90 or 95. There is a teacher, I think her name is Portia Lynn Torch. I'm not sure, but there's a teacher, she's almost 100 now. And she's been practicing and teaching even today. She remains a very popular teacher right here in the United States. I'm not sure where she originally came from. I understand she's from Pondicherry. But if you want to be 90 or 95 and still be physically active and mentally alert, you want to make sure that you start your practice now. As one of my teachers would say, tomorrow's sadhana, tomorrow's practice begins tonight. So get some rest, sleep early, and that is more important than anything. So sleep early. And in one of these episodes, I also will touch upon body constitutions. We talk about Ayurveda, individual constitutions. And we have postures that relate to these, to the seasons as well. So in summer, you want to do postures that'll heat you up, that'll warm you up, but also compact you. In winter, you want postures that'll open you up, but you want postures that'll heat you up. So we'll go by season and we'll go by individual constitutions. Thank you for staying with me. Every Monday, 7:30 to 8 a.m., Time Warner 56, RCN 83, FIOS 34. And the guys who made it happen today, Miguel, Akram, and Brian, thank you so much for seeing me through. You have the credits rolling. Stay in touch. Yogaxpress.com. Through my website, send me an email.